This is Bad Dudes for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that is how you do a video game plot. 2 sentences. Everything after that is walking to the right and kicking ninjas in the throat. Occasionally you stab them in the head with your sais, or bludgeon them with your nunchaku. This is your typical side-scrolling beat-em-up game. You don't need a lot of plot, you just need an excuse to walk right and hit everyone you see. And rescuing the president is, reason enough for me. I don't have a lot to say about this other than I like it. I think it's a really good game. It controls a little slow, but once you get into it, you hardly notice. I do like that you can pick up a lot of weapons. You can pick up sais, you can pick up nunchucks, and I think it captures America at the time this was made, that a can of Coca-Cola is your power-up. I mean, that's pretty classic. I actually have fond memories of playing this in the arcade. There was a little diner, a little root beer float type of place that had the arcade cabinet of this. I used to go there with my dad because the place he worked shared parking lot space with that little diner. So I'd spend some time over there playing the arcade version of this, drinking milkshakes. And that's one of the few arcade memories I have. I only remember playing a handful of arcade games. Didn't really have an arcade to go to. And I love that digitized voice. I'm bad. I mean, that is so awful and awesome at the same time. I enjoy the music to this game. I'd probably say that my favorite thing about this game is the music. It's pretty badass. Like, I'm getting really pumped up to beat the shit out of these ninjas on the back of this tractor trailer. I mean, this is the way video games were, and it was awesome. You don't see a lot of that today. Now you see a lot of convoluted plots, and, cutscenes have their place. I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan. I'm crazy about Metal Gear Solid, so, I mean, I can appreciate games having, an overarching story, a plot going, spanning multiple games, and that's fine. But you don't see a lot of this today where the game is solely just gameplay, where it's nothing but, here's your excuse, go get them. You don't see that today. At least not very often. I guess it's kind of hard to transition, the beat-em-up game into 3D. Only a few have done it well. The only 3D beat-em-up game I really care for is Yakuza for the PlayStation 2. I really liked that game. I had a hell of a good time with that game. Someday I'll probably get around to reviewing it too, because that is a modern classic. But this is an old classic, and I love this game. It's a good time. Like I said, the only complaint I have is the controls are a little sluggish. I wouldn't call them unresponsive, but it's not as fluid as something like Final Fight or Streets of Rage. But that very well may be a hardware limitation, being on an 8-bit system. But you got a lot of ninjas jumping around, and I like the bosses. Like, look at this. A little midget guy with Vega claws. It's pretty badass. It's pretty nimble, too. But yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of this game. I definitely have to give this one Mondo Cool. I've had this NES cart for years and years. I used to play it at my friend's house. I used to play the arcade game. I enjoy this. If you like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, this is one that can be had very inexpensively.
I'm bad.
I love that every time. I wouldn't be surprised if the United States government wouldn't resolve a crisis like the way depicted in this game. Blah, I had a hard time spitting that out. It wouldn't surprise me if this is how the United States government would go about handling such a critical mission. Instead of, using the Secret Service or some Navy SEALs, those guys are pretty badass, or a couple of Marines, they're supposed to be pretty hardcore. No, they just go and find two dudes with wife beaters and, a self-proclaimed bad dude to fight an entire army of ninjas, which that dude just punched the shit out of a ninja star. So, I mean, there's no contesting that this dude is definitely a bad dude. But you'd think with such a high-profile government figure as the United States President, they wouldn't, put a little more manpower on the mission besides, putting one bad dude on the trail. I mean, look at him. He's getting all stabby. And he's a more bad dude than I am. I probably wouldn't have drank that can of Coca-Cola that he found in the sewer. So that's pretty bad in itself. Definitely give this game a play. I'm just gonna let the I'm gonna stop talking now because shit, I don't really have much to say. It's a good side scroller. It's got the single best video game plot in all of video game history, in my opinion. It's, nothing convoluted. You don't need cutscenes. It's 2 sentences straight to the point. And the rest of the story unfolds when you walk to the right and beat up a whole plethora of ninjas. Red, yellow, blue, green ninjas, midget ninjas with claws. It's a pretty badass game. Check it out.